In this example, we now have a combination. We have an addition and we have a multiplication of our x. We have to figure out how we can solve this now for x, because our ultimate goal, of course, is to get something like x equals a number. So how can we address this? Well, first of all, let's think about what this means. It basically means take x times 10 and add to this result 3. And that gives us -7. That is basically what this equation actually tells us. So we have to really do exactly retrace our steps. So we have to say, first of all, we have this addition here, and then the second step would be the multiplication. And in order to deal with that, we use the inverse mathematical operations. Inverse mathematical operations. And I said for a plus, the inverse operation would be negative. For negative, the operation would be a plus. For multiplication, the inverse would be division. And likewise, division, the inverse would be multiplication. So what we start off with is we need to get rid of this 3 here. So we've got 10x plus 3 equals -7. And in order to get rid of this 3, we do the inverse mathematical operation of this plus, which would be a -3 to both sides. So we've got 10x plus 3 minus 3. And what we do to the left-hand side, we also need to do to the right-hand side. So we have -7 minus -3. So we've got plus 3 minus 3, and that gives us 0. So we got rid of this addition term here, and we've got 10x equals, well, -7 minus 3 gives us -10. And now we need to get rid of this factor in front of 10. And this is a multiplication, so the inverse operation would be divided by this factor, divided by 10. So I write it as a fraction. We've got 10x divided by 10. And again, we need to do to the right-hand side what we have done to the left-hand side. So we have -10 also divided by 10. And we see that 10 cancels out. We've got 1x, and we don't really need to write the 1. So we've got x equals -10 over 10, and that would be -1. So that would be our result. We can do a quick check. We can put the -1 into our original equation. We have 10 times -1 plus 3 equals -7. So 10 times -1 gives us -10 plus 3. That gives us -7. And that is what we should get. And therefore, we can be confident that this result is correct. So this is how we can actually work with these slightly more complex terms in order to find x. I hope this makes sense, and